So let us begin with the first question. Highlight the significance of 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts. Also discuss some of their important provisions. So this is a pure static polity question. Significance of 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts, which were enacted to deepen the democracy in the country, democratic decentralization as we call it. Also discuss some of its important provisions. So we must tell the significance of it and also some important provisions. So we will try to briefly introduce the 73rd and 74th Acts, write about the significance of the acts for local governance, and also discuss some of the major provisions and conclude appropriately. So if you see local government, if you see in India, it's a peculiar thing, we have three-tier government. So to start with that, local government is a state subject under the seventh schedule of the constitution, and its working was earlier dependent on the will of the state governments. So earlier when it was not there, it was up to the will of the state government. And Gandhi ji has always told that India lives in its villages. The soul of India lives in its villages, and he envisaged a village-based democracy, or we can call it village-based local self-government. And also accordingly, he had put Article 40. Based on his Gandhian ideals, we have inserted Article 40 in the DPSPs. So as a result, many states did not have provisions for elected local bodies earlier. Further, neither regular elections were there for these bodies to conducted, nor were they empowered to work as institutions of self-government. So the 73rd and 74th Amendment, which was passed in 1992, led to mainstreaming of these institutions and gave them recognition and protection. So the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts are significant for the following reasons. See, they gave constitutional status to local self-governments in villages. For example, Part 9 of the Constitution, and urban areas, Part 9A. So they gave constitutional status first thing, was linked to the Constitution. So they gave constitutional status. They gave practical shape to Article 40, which is mentioned in DPSP, which states that state shall take steps to organize village panchayats and enable them to function as units of self-government. So they brought the local governments under the justiciable part of the constitution. That is, they took away the discretion of the states in matter of formation of local bodies and provided for the mandatory election for these institutions every 5 years. So a form of procedural democracy was established, election every 5 years. They instituted some compulsory provisions mandating the states to include local governance in their respective laws, and some voluntary provisions which can be adopted by states based on local considerations. So this was some changes or some significance which was done. Some compulsory provisions are there, some voluntary provisions are there. These acts have outlined some major provisions to be implemented, including, so coming to the provisions perspective, structure. If you see the structure, this act provides for three-tier structure of panchayat in every state. Like for example, at village, intermediate, and district level. 74th provides for three types of municipalities, as we know that one is Nagar Panchayat, other is municipal council, and municipal corporation, based on the stages of urbanization, based on urbanization population to it, at what extent it can hold the population in territorial extent. So coming to the, this is the structure, three-tier structure. Next is the election, direct elections to all seats in the panchayats at every level for all members of the municipalities. The conduct of all elections to the local body shall be vested in state election commission. A new body was constitutional body was envisaged, and then see the reservation per se, reservation of seats for SCs and STs, and one-third seats for women in panchayats and municipalities at three levels. So this was, uh, in a way, empowering the women, especially in the rural areas where patriarchy dominates. There we can see element of women empowerment, as well as we can see the element of social empowerment, because there is inclusion of backward, most backward sections such as SCs and STs. So and then comes the district planning committee, the 74th, with respect to bottom up planning. This point is with respect to bottom up planning. The 74th Constitutional Amendment Act provides for district planning committee to consolidate the plans prepared by the panchayats and municipalities in the district, and to prepare a draft development plan for district as a whole. So largely, these are the things. And then self-government, these acts added 11th schedule, which contains 29 functional items, which has to be devolved within the purview of panchayats, and the 12th schedule contains 18 items, again to be devolved to the purview of municipalities. So apart from that, they are given certain functional powers. States states by law may decide on granting financial powers, such as to levy or collect and appropriate taxes, duties, and tolls and fees to panchayats and municipalities. So there are certain financial powers also being given so that they can raise their own revenues and they can have that functional autonomy in their spheres. But this has not work has highlighted by Economic Commission, sorry, Economic Survey. So levy, collect, and appropriate taxes, duties, tolls, fees, and to the panchayats and municipalities. Further, the State Finance Commission will be constituted every 5 years to review the financial position. So, as we saw, we've seen the significant provisions, the significance of the Act itself in terms of constitutional status, giving practical shape to Article 40, making justiciable, mandatory, establishing democracy at grassroots, some compulsory provisions, as well as some of the significant provisions include such as structure, making elections mandatory, reservations, so in the form of acting as a tool of political empowerment, also social empowerment in one sense, and especially gender. And from gender perspective, we can say women empowerment at the grassroots level. And the district planning committee calls for bottom-up planning because it calls for making plans, financial powers for functional autonomy, and then. But we see that largely there is a problem of three Fs, perennial problem of three Fs: funds, functions, functionaries, as well as framework. But now functionality is also an issue. Although these bodies are facing issues related to lack of funds, functions, and functionalities, as we discussed, local governments in the country have been strengthened due to regular elections. It's been 25 years since the establishment of local self-government. So these acts have played a significant role in the evolution of grassroots democracy in the country. So grassroots democracy, building a democracy from the bottom, is what the founding fathers, the father of nation, envisaged. So that is why this is very significant.